Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I am Gids. I know I've been away for a while, but I'm back today making another video, and I thought for today's video I would talk about the fragrances that I recently took on holiday with me to Malta. I went away to Malta, actually it was a little bit of a while ago, but I thought I would share the fragrances that I took with me and why I took those particular fragrances. But of course, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing, give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below, especially if you own or have tried any of these fragrances. I'd love to get your honest opinion on what you think of them. When I travel, I generally try to travel light, and I don't like taking big bottles of fragrances. I find it stressful. And usually to Europe, I normally just do hand luggage. I like to travel light, as I said. So for that reason, I wasn't taking any big bottles because you are restricted obviously with liquids. So what I typically do is I take a bag and I put all my toiletries in here. I buy things at the airport like toothpaste and shower gel, blah, blah, blah. But I will take lots of different samples, travel sprays, things that I can wear throughout the week to enjoy my vacation and also to smell good while I'm doing it. Yeah, by the way, Malta is such an amazing country to visit. I will leave some clips of a bit of Malta, me sightseeing and doing bits and bobs, but let's get straight into it. So like I said, when I travel light. Bearing that in mind, I have a lot of samples, and I have LV, Louis Vuitton. I have a lot of samples, and there's one fragrance from Louis Vuitton that I particularly like wearing in summer because I have so many samples of that fragrance. I'm actually running low, however, of that particular fragrance, and it's this one here. I've still got three more. I took 3 with me on holiday, and it's Afternoon Swim from Louis Vuitton. Now, this is a very popular one from the house of Louis Vuitton. A lot of people love Afternoon Swim. It's very fresh, very citrusy, very bright, slightly aquatic. It has this slight sea salty, fresh, citrusy vibe to the fragrance. It is gorgeous. And I took quite a few of these with me, and I loved wearing this fragrance. These are 2 mls. I took 3 of them on holiday. Absolutely gorgeous. From what I remember, there is some bergamot in this, there is some ginger, there's orange as well, and I believe there's ambergris as well. So you get this slightly salty, sweet, fresh, aquatic scent. But this is like no other fragrance out there. It's just so perfect for summer. Now, I love wearing this. Have I considered buying this in a full size? Absolutely. However, this fragrance, the longevity is just not there for me. I need at least 4 or 5 hours out of this fragrance. I barely can smell it after 3 hours, and I'll be really honest. So for £255, because that's what it costs here in the UK, I don't think I can justify spending that kind of money on this fragrance. But do I love this fragrance? Absolutely, it's amazing. I just wish it lasted just a little bit longer. And I know it's a citrus fragrance, but Louis Vuitton could have given it a little bit more performance if they had wanted to. But anyway, this is Afternoon Swim, so I used a lot of samples of this on holiday, and I really enjoyed wearing that one. Next one is another Louis Vuitton, and it's Orage. Now, I also have Orage in my little bag of samples. I took a few of these with me as well. And what I normally do is I just take them out of their little case, and I just put them in the bag. Because like I said, I don't have the room for lots of liquid and lots of things. Orage is one of my absolute favorites from the house of Louis Vuitton, and I don't think it's one which gets a lot of love. This is an orange, patchouli, musky iris type of fragrance. It's a little bit dry, a little bit earthy, but it's still quite fresh and vibrant. And it actually, for me, works in all weather. It works in the heat, it works in the cooler weather, and in between. So I really enjoyed wearing this, especially in the evenings when it was getting a bit fresher and more breezy. It has that warm air, because Malta was very, very hot. It was like 33, 34 degrees centigrade at times. It was very, very hot, and at times very humid as well. So this was a lovely one to wear. And would I consider buying a full size of Orage? Definitely, because for me, this one lasts a bit longer. It's a bit more interesting. And I don't have anything like this in my collection. However, right now, I'm not really buying fragrances like that. But this fragrance, I took a few of these with me and I got through them during my trip, and I really, really loved wearing these. There was one day I wore this and I went down for breakfast, and the staff who sort of check you in when you're having breakfast, she was like, "What are you wearing? What are you wearing?" And I told her it was called Orage. And this, I think this translates to something like storm in French, which is a great name for a fragrance. The next fragrance that I also took with me was Halfeti. I took Halfeti and I wore this a lot in the evenings when I went out for dinner. This is a beautiful fragrance. The performance on this is amazing as well. On me, it lasts a decent amount of time. I've heard people say this doesn't last very long, but I don't know. Halfeti for me lasts a very, very long time. This is a resinous, very warm, spicy fragrance, but there's florals in this. There's amber, there's vanilla, there's patchouli, there's a bit of oud, but it still retains a sweetness and a softness in the fragrance. And it's so charming, so classy, and it's just beautiful to wear on holiday, especially in the evenings when it's breezy and very fresh. So I loved wearing Halfeti on holiday. It was amazing, really amazing fragrance. Jazz Club from Maison Margiela. I have it in a travel spray, and as you can see, I'm almost finished. This is another one that I really enjoyed wearing kind of in the evenings. Beautiful fragrance, a bit boozy, musky, sweet. A lot of us know what this smells like. This is an incredible fragrance, really, really lovely. And would I get a full-size bottle of this when this finishes? Yes, eventually, not straight away, when I'm ready. But this is a gorgeous fragrance that I've really loved wearing in the evenings in the heat. When I was at the airport, one of my traditions that I do at the airport is I always go to Jo Malone and I pick up the scent that I love from Jo Malone. Now, I love Jo Malone fragrances. I know people complain about the longevity, especially from the cologne line, but for me, they're fresh, they're light, they're just effortless, and they don't require a lot of thought. You can kind of just wear them and enjoy them. And this is wood sage and sea salt. Now I picked this up, you get it for 20% off, you save on the VAT, and I love this fragrance. It's just really a fresh, light, salty, mineral fragrance. There's a bit of woods in this. It's got that sage, so it's very sort of slightly herbal and crisp and fresh. And for me, I see this fragrance as like a palette cleanser, so it's very light. It's not too heady, and it's perfect to wear in hot weather, in my opinion. And because it's this size, this is the 30 ml, you can just throw it in like a little bag you carry with you of the day, and then just sort of top up and freshen up, because it's just so effortless and just so fresh. So good, so good. And I know, yes, it doesn't have the best performance. However, it's okay because you just spritz it on every few hours and you enjoy it, and it's refreshing and it's clean. It's got that clean smell, which I love when I'm in the heat. I need to smell clean in the heat, and that is how this fragrance makes me smell. And I know there's a lot of fans of this one as well. When I was also in Gatwick Airport, I had a look around duty free. I always try to kill a bit of time. I like to get to the airport really early, be organized. I always have this fear, I don't know if you guys have it as well, of missing my flight. So I'm always at the airport at least usually 3 hours before my flight, or at least 2.5. I've become really good at being punctual because I don't play around with flights and getting to the airport. I'd rather get to the airport early and just sit and relax, have a drink, have a coffee, have some food, walk around duty free, than leave it and be late and stressed. Anyway, with all that said, I popped into Molton Brown, and Molton Brown is really a brand. I know Molton Brown more for their like skincare, their hand washes and things like that, but they have a really nice range of fragrances, really nice range. And when I was there, I saw one fragrance and it was called Rose and Rhubarb. And those are two notes that I love. I love rose and I love rhubarb. I like that sort of tangy, tart, slightly sweet, but really sharp note that rhubarb typically has. So I bought this, And I thought, okay, this is great because first of all, I like the way that the fragrance smells. Here we are. So this is the little spray. I think this is like a 10 mil or something like that. And this is just a really fresh scent. You know, it's so nice and just so uplifting, sort of very pretty. It's a very pretty fragrance, and I don't mind wearing pretty fragrances. Yeah, I don't mind wearing them, but this is gorgeous, really beautiful. And what you do is obviously shower, put the moisturizer on, and then spritz on a little bit of this beautiful fragrance. You're good to go, you're fresh, you smell good. And this was also very, very affordable. And there was this beautiful woman, gorgeous woman who was working at Molton Brown, lovely lady, good energy, good vibes. I wish I got her name. Have you guys tried Molton Brown fragrances? I also got a lovely sample of the oud fragrance. Brown have this really nice oud shower gel, which is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna insert a picture of it here. And I like showering with that, and then I'll put on Halfeti afterwards because it's so nice. It's a bit smoky, warm, really, really nice. But yeah, that's kind of what I wore, guys. I didn't really do too much with the fragrances. While I was in Malta, I did pop into a shopping mall called Frank's, and I got to smell Guidance, finally, the famous Guidance, and I've got to say, I love that fragrance. I think it's beautiful, lots of character, very unique, very different from what I was expecting, but every time I tried to sample it here in London, it was always finished. The tester bottles were always finished, but I finally got to sample it, and I really like that fragrance. Anyway, I had an amazing time in lovely Malta, and I smelled great doing it. Those are the fragrances I wore. I'll be back also doing a recap of the fragrances that I've been wearing a lot of recently, like what fragrances I've really been gravitating towards, because I have really been gravitating towards the same fragrances again and again. And I'll talk about that and other things as well. So as always, guys, thank you so much for joining me in today's video. It's always a pleasure to make these. Please do subscribe, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. What have you guys been wearing? What do you think of some of the new releases? Oh, I'll do another video very soon about new releases as well, because there's a few that I've tried recently. Doesn't mean I'm gonna purchase them. I'm not trying to buy too many fragrances right now. It's not my priority at all, but I will share my thoughts on that. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well, and I will speak to you guys very, very soon. Take care.